So Nicolas Maduro has been indicted by the U.S. for drug trafficking. But this really isn't about drugs. It's just the next step in a pressure campaign against Maduro's Venezuela by the United States. Now, drugs are bad, okay? But this indictment isn't really about preventing drugs from getting into the United States. Maduro is still in power after a failed coup attempt by U.S.-supported Juan Guaido last year, and after many years of very harsh sanctions imposed by the U.S. that some reports say have caused up to 40,000 deaths since 2017. The sanctions prevent Venezuela from selling their major resource, oil, bans them from participating in U.S. markets of any kind, and has made it harder for ordinary citizens to access food, medicine, and medical equipment. So why are all the drugs flowing through Venezuela now? Well, they're not. Let's look at cocaine, the main drug announced in the indictment. According to a report from the DEA in 2016, up to 94% of the cocaine produced in Colombia and shipped to the U.S. went through the Central American corridor. But the report does say there are signs of increased trafficking in the Caribbean. Either way, as we can clearly see from the DEA map, there are already plenty of direct transport lines to the Caribbean from Colombia. Why would the drugs need to go through Venezuela first? According to this piece from the Business Insider from 2017, Venezuela is nowhere close to a primary transit country for U.S.-bound cocaine. If the U.S. government wanted to address the flow of cocaine, they'd focus on corruption in places like Honduras and Guatemala, both governments the administration has coddled in recent years. Okay, let's take a look at Honduras. Only 3 weeks ago, this report from the Associated Press shows the ties between Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez and drug trafficker Fuentes Ramirez. A case brought by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York says that Hernandez and Fuentes agreed to facilitate the use of Honduran armed forces as personal security for Fuentes during drug trafficking activities. And this is not the first time the Honduran president has been linked to drugs. Last year, in the trial of his brother and former Honduran Congressman Hernandez Alvarado, prosecutors said that the president had used $1.5 million from drug traffickers to help win the presidency in 2013. So where is the indictment of Hernandez? Most likely it's not coming anytime soon. And why? One of the reasons might be the largest U.S. military base in Latin America, Soto Cano Air Force Base, is located in Honduras. Ironically, this base is sometimes used to fight narco-trafficking. According to this piece in the Army Times from 2019, Army Colonel Stephen Harry said when asked about his base's responsibilities, "An example is last year Panama wanted help with problems with some of the narco-traffickers coming up from Colombia. We have to wait until they ask, hey, can you help us do this? If authority is granted by Congress, then we're able to do it. But we're not doing direct counter-narcotic." But there's more. According to this piece in the HuffPost, in 2007, democratically elected president of Honduras, Manuel Zelaya, visited Washington and had 2 security-related requests for President Bush: convert the Soto Cano Air Base into a commercial air cargo terminal, and deploy U.S. forces to eastern Honduras to combat drug trafficking along the Caribbean coast. Neither of those things happened. Instead, in 2009, the United States, under Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, supported a coup that ousted Zelaya. So let's just admit that the indictment isn't really about drugs, or the headlines would be about Hernandez and Honduras. Instead, it's the next step in the U.S. plan to overthrow Maduro. Now, the last time we indicted a Latin American leader on drug charges, it was our good friend, Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega in 1988. And a year later, the U.S. invaded Panama. If you enjoy this content, please click the like button and share, and consider subscribing for more videos. Thank you.